And welcome to week number 10 of the 2020 high school football season from Ashland's Community Stadium, where the Ashland Arrows are hosting the Green Wave of Holy Name High School. I am Brian Harter along with Bruce Weirich, and this season has been rather strange. We have talked about this from week one. We have now whittled it down. There are 16 teams left in Division III.
And I tell you, it's been a great season. You know, and when you think about it, Brian, think about it at the very beginning. We didn't know if there was going to be a season. We didn't know what was happening. Some teams started, some teams didn't start, some were on hold. But now everything's coming down to the finals, and we're in the playoffs, and I'm ready for some football.
Well, as we take a look at the brackets, we see that Ashland has had I'm not going to say an easy road to this point. They've been tested, especially last week in the win that they had over Norwalk, but they are one of those 16 teams that is still standing. Here you take a look at several of the divisions. There's Division 3, Region 10 in the upper left, Division 4, Region 14, Division 6 in Region 22, and Division 7, Region 25. But Ashland is in Division 3, Region 10. As we take a closer look, they're playing Holy Name tonight. The winner of tonight's game will take on West Holmes or Tiffin Columbian. Tiffin Columbian, the top seed in this region.
And this is some tough football. You look at this region, you got some tough teams in here. Tiffin Columbian is just a powerhouse. West Holmes, where did they come from? I mean, they have an offense that can put points on the board. They can put 50 points on you if they need to. Holy Name, they knocked off the number 3 seed last week, and Ashland, they're just cruising, doing what they do, and that's play good football.
Yeah, they took care of Norwalk last week, and then the week before they took care of Mansfield Senior, obviously a team that they're very familiar with. Holy Name, they beat Bowling Green in a game that was a little bit of an upset, and then the week before that they took care of River Valley. Both teams had byes in week one, which in basketball – sometimes you have to think about whether you're going to take the bye, but in football, it seemed like everybody jumped at the chance to go into the playoffs healthy.
Yeah, you need that extra week. You can start looking at the two teams that you might play. You can get your team healthy again. You can do some agility drills where your kids can get loosened up again. But the one thing I like about the playoffs, Brian, is early in the game, you're playing teams that you've already played. They played Mansfield Senior. You played Norwalk. Now we're getting to the point where you're playing teams you've never seen before. When was the last time Ashland played a team out of Parma? And, you know,
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
We are uniting Park National's family of banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community.
I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Kissel's Lawncare. There's no job too big or too small for us to handle. With top-of-the-line equipment, we are guaranteed to complete your next landscaping job efficiently and professionally. A hard-working, dedicated team is what we take pride in, bringing to every job to make sure the results are the best they can be. So the next time you have a landscaping project that needs done, think smart and think Kissel.
At Lacey Construction, they understand that finding the right company for your home improvement needs can be very stressful. The professionals at Lacey Construction can help alleviate that stress. Quality materials, professional employees, and they offer great financing options along with 1 year of interest-free financing. So now is the very best time to get those energy-saving new windows, insulation, and vinyl siding installed. Call Lacey Construction at 266-9916.
Welcome back to Ashland's Community Stadium for the Division III Region 10 semifinal between Ashland and Holy Name. Brian Harter along with Bruce Weirich for the call tonight, and this is an opportunity for Ashland to do something perhaps that they haven't done in the past under Scott Valentine, and that's make a very deep playoff run. Could this be the year for the Ashland Arrows? They just might be peaking at the right time.
And they do everything right now. I mean, they got a quarterback that's on cue. They got receivers that are catching the ball. Their offense is moving. They're putting points on the board. And that's going to be one of the big keys tonight is Holy Name has 4 of the best down linemen I've ever seen on one football team when you look at all 4 of them. And being an old offensive line coach, I just sit back and say, wow. Those guys are going to be tough. But if the Ashland front 5, the center, 2 guards, 2 tackles, can handle that front 4 and take the pressure off their quarterback, Ashland can have a very successful night. Now, on the other hand, with Holy Name, if they can control Ashland's offense with just the 4 down guys and let their linebackers look for the ball in the air, it's going to be a long night for the Arrows.
Holy Name won the opening coin toss, so they will receive, which is something that this year we really haven't seen a whole lot of. Most of the teams that win the opening coin toss defer to the second half. Holy Name, they want to get out and they want to get momentum early.
And a lot of times the coaches will dictate this. They'll sit in the locker room and say, well, we don't want Ashland getting on the board first. So if we win the toss, we want to take the ball. We want to set the momentum of the game and see what we can do.
The Arrows just seconds away from getting out onto the field. Holy Name in their traveling white jerseys with the black pants, the green helmets, the green numbers and letters trimmed and black. Ashland in their home black jerseys with the white pants, the white numerals,
Yeah,
with
I
their
tell
black
you,
helmets.
I'm happy about that. I can see the numbers tonight. You don't have to guess at who's got the ball and what numbers they are. Sometimes the uniforms and numbers clash. I have a very difficult time reading that, Brian, but
For all you athletic directors out there, this is a broadcaster's dream.
it is.
Looking at both of these jerseys.
It really is.
The Arrows looking for win number 8. They're 7-1 on the abbreviated season out of the OCC. Holy Name 6-1, and they're 4-0 in the Great Lakes Conference. Caden Spots kicks it off, and we are underway here from Community Stadium. That's Garrett Sparks with the return, gets up across the 20, and he's going to be brought down at the 24-yard line. Let's take a look at the offensive starters. First of all, for the Green Wave of Holy Name, they are led by their quarterback, Javon Williams, and this kid is a fast one. He hurts them out of the backfield, running the ball just as well as throwing it. He's a sophomore. He's joined in the backfield by Christian Sanchez up front, that front four that you talked about. They will set the tone offensively from the offensive line. Offset I formation. They stay on the ground. And first down yardage up across the 30 to the 32-yard line. We'll take a look at the Ashland defense after the next play. So there you mentioned that front, and they're trying to establish the line of scrimmage early to get 8 yards on first down.
Yeah, the trenches, I can't emphasize how important it is controlling that front. Ashland's only have 3 down linemen, so their linebackers are going to be busy tonight.
Second straight call, this time right side. It's another first down carry. That's Christian Sanchez, the defensive lineup for the Ashland Arrows. And this has been a pretty good unit all season long. Up front, they're led by Christian Garish along with the nose guard, Jake Beaver. The defensive tackle, Triton Schuster. We'll get a look at the defense after this next play. Again, they stay on the ground, and this time the defensive front allows no penetration through the line of scrimmage. Now let's take a look at that defense led by Christian Garish, the defensive tackle, Jake Beaver, and Triton Schuster. The linebackers, Jones, Beverly, and Harter, along with Metzger. And the backfield is Colin Rohr, Carpenter, Schmitz, and Landon McFrederick. Gain of 1, second down and 9. They'll put 3 receivers in the formation, 2 to the right. And there you see Sanchez shift over to the left, and he's going to block as Williams is going to take his first carry of the ball game, knocked out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. Coming over defensively for the Arrows was Caden Schmitz, who had a fumble return for a touchdown last week in their win over Norwalk.
And the one thing, if Holy Name can get their running attack going, utilizing their quarterback and their backs, they're going to put a lot of pressure on Ashland tonight.
Trips to the right. But as you talked about, this is a team that their bread and butter is running the football, and the sophomore quarterback is one who likes to run as well. Williams back to throw. It's tipped and incomplete. Tried to get rid of the ball quickly, but that's going to bring up a fourth down, and the Ashland defense comes up big on their first possession. They force a punt.
A big play. And I'll tell you one thing I like there, when Holy Name came out in that formation, they had more receivers to the field. The defensive coordinator on the sideline starts yelling at his players, get in the right position, and they were there. So it's a great scouting job by the Ashland staff.
So the Arrows should get pretty good field position after this kick. Ball's going to be down at the 24-yard line. The offensive starters for the Ashland Arrows, they are led by their outstanding quarterback, Declan Rohr. The running back, and this is a good backfield as well, Ethan Hartley, and he's got receivers Johnny Metzger, Trey Boyd, Braylon Harter, and Landon McFrederick. And up front, it's Beaver, Hanna, Blessing, Colbert, and Garish.
And, Brian, this is the part of the ball game I want to see. I want to see how Ashland's front 5, their center, 2 guards, and tackles, can contain the front 4 for Holy Name.
5 receivers in the formation. Declan Rohr alone in the backfield. And that's Hartley in motion. Hartley gets the call, and he's going to be dropped after about a 2-yard gain to the 27-yard line. The defensive starters for the Green Wave, they are led by their defensive end, Ryan Pavlis. He's joined up front by Seth Wallace, Vincent Holbrook, and Connor Preisel. The linebackers, Bowden, Sinagra, Kaminsky, and the defensive backfield, Scheiben, Sparks, McNamara, and Eric Jones. Hartley comes in motion. They fake it to Hartley. And Rohr with a short completion out on the left side. Eric Jones comes up to make the stop. And it's going to force a 3rd down and about 6 from the 28-yard line.
And as you notice, Ashland's working the perimeter. They're trying to stay away from those down 4 guys, doing everything outside.
Hartley comes in motion. They will run Hartley out of that formation. They'll bring him back into the backfield. Trips to the right. Rohr back to throw on 3rd down. Looks over the middle. It's caught. Nice first down reception made by Jonathan Metzger. And that keeps the drive alive. The Arrows with a 1st and 10 up to the 45-yard line.
And a nice play. Nice play. A lot of teams, they always throw the ball to the outside. Ashland going right down the post route, right down the middle of the field.
1st and 10 at the Arrow 45, their first drive of the ball game. They swing it out. That's Metzger again. He's going to be wrapped up at midfield. So he'll get forward progress, a 5-yard gain, and on the stop for Holy Name is Aiden McNamara. So right away, Metzger, the sophomore, with 2 big catches. And it's now 2nd down and a long 5.
And Ashland's completed 3 of 3 passes tonight, Brian. Not a bad start.
Rohr back to throw, has time. It's incomplete. And I think there was some miscommunication there between him and Ethan Hartley. Hartley didn't even look for the ball. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, they'll communicate that. The coaches will explain to them, hey, somebody's got to look back. Quarterback read. Back coming out of the backfield.
Rohr has done a nice job this season, completing 64% of his passes. Hartley in motion to the backfield. .802 to go, first quarter, no score. Ashland, their first drive of the ball game. They stay on the ground. That's Hartley up the middle. Gets about 2 to the 48-yard line. In on the stop for Holy Name was Vincent Holbrook. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
And one of the things you're seeing Ashland doing, they'll put a man in motion, and then he'll stop, and then the coaches will call the play in. Well, that gives the defense or the offensive coaches a read. If one of the Holy Name runners tries to run with that guy in motion, they know they're in man-to-man. If nobody moves, they know they're in a zone.
So it's 4th down, and Ashland forced to punt. It's a kick angle to the near side, not a very long kick, so the Green Wave will get the ball with fairly good field position on their second possession of the game. Last week, Holy Name knocked off number 3 Bowling Green 24-21. Quarterback Javon Williams, 7 of 11 for 126 yards through the air, but he did most of his damage on the ground, rushing for 189 yards on 18 carries.
One of the things you got to look at is the Holy Name is they've got 3 shutouts in this shortened season. I mean, they play some tough defense, and they've shut out some very good teams this year. And Ashland, we got to get the ball moving. We got to move the stakes. Got to put points on the board tonight.
William out of the shotgun. Got 4 receivers in the formation, 2 to each side. We're going to stay on the ground. Jet sweep to the near side, and Ashland's defense is all over it as Caden Schmitz comes over. And I don't know if he got even a yard past the line. They're going to give him – no, they're not going to give him a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And what pursuit? You talk about the speed of Ashland. You know, sometimes you think about a team, overall team speed, and Ashland has team speed, and they showed it to you right there, cutting down the jet sweep.
Williams back to throw, sets, it's caught, short gain. That's Garrett Sparks with the reception, knocked out of bounds in front of the Ashland bench. Braylon Harter came up to make the stop. 8-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and 8, or 3rd down and about 3. Now they move the chains up. It's 3rd and 2. Sanchez along with Williams in the backfield. Williams on a designed run to the near side. He's going to be popped at the line of scrimmage. And coming up to make the stick, Jacob Beverly. And it's 4th down, and the defense tonight has come to play.
And it's called pursuit. And one of the things that Holy Name's doing is they're running into the boundary or the short side of the field. And when Ashland sees that, they are just flying to the football. And what a big hit on that.
So Jonathan Metzger back to receive the kick for the Arrows with 5.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Is it going to be a return? It's going to take an Ashland roll to the 44, and that's where the Arrows will take over. No score, 5:23 to go in the first quarter. Brian Harter, Bruce Weirich from Community Stadium in Ashland for the Division III Region 10 semifinal between Holy Name and the Ashland Arrows.
And I tell you what, I'm tickled. Watching that Ashland defense play on their first couple of series, they are making things happen out there. And you can hear the coaches yelling and screaming. They are a well-coached defense this game. They know what's coming at them, and they're flying to the football.
Declan Rohr now with a couple backs. Hartley's going to swing in motion to the near side. They're going to swing it out to Hartley. Trying to get the ball to Hartley in space. Gets up to the 50-yard line. A pickup of about 7. Garrett Sparks came up to make the play. So trying to get Hartley involved in the offense early. Swinging the ball out to him in the flat.
And what they're trying to do is get him a one-on-one situation. You get him out. All he's got to do is beat one defensive player, and he's gone for 6.
Hartley with over 600 yards rushing. He's their leading rusher and receiver on the season. And there's Hartley with the run off the right side. He's spun down by Eric Jones, but he gets a first down to the 42-yard line. So the Arrows on the move with about 4.5 minutes to go here in a rapidly moving first quarter. Trips now to the left. Rohr straight back to throw. Has time, fires, and it's caught! And Landon McFrederick into the touchdown for Ashland, and the Arrows go on top 6-0. Declan Rohr with a strike, 42 yards on the play.
What a play. What a play. And that's just speed. They just outran the secondary. Quarterback puts it right on the money. What a play. What a pass.
Declan Rohr with his 20th touchdown pass of the season. Hosts on to attempt the extra point. It's up and good. Ashland with a 7-0 lead. And as we take a look at this play, this was a well-executed route run by McFrederick and a nice throw by Declan Rohr. Caught him in stride. And McFrederick goes into the end zone untouched. 42 yards on the pass play. And as you mentioned before, this team can score in a hurry.
And that's what they're doing right now. And I like the enthusiasm, the momentum. Everything is working for Ashland right now. Their defense is playing great ball. And the offense, you just saw what they can do in one simple play. 42-yard touchdown pass.
McFrederick leads this team in touchdown receptions now with 7.
And I'll tell you what, Brian, that was a beautiful thrown ball. And number one, he just ran a simple little post route. He beat one guy. Holy Name didn't have anybody deep over the top. Quarterback found him and hit the receiver in stride. I actually thought he overthrew him when I first saw him leave that ball, but what a reception.
Well, and also, if you remember on that replay, he had all kinds of time back there in the pocket. He had time. He didn't have anybody in his face. He had time to step into the throw.
And that's what you and I talked about earlier. Who's going to control the offensive line of scrimmage? And right now, Ashland's offensive line is definitely controlling the defensive front.
Eric Jones going to down the ball in the end zone, so the Green Wave will take over now 7-0. Ashland, 4:18 to go in the first quarter.
And we'll see what this defense can do again. Actually, this defense gave the offense great field position. The ball is at the 45, and when you have a short field, that opens up your entire offensive playbook, and the coaches utilized every weapon they had and ended up with a touchdown.
Now we're going to see the poise of the sophomore quarterback, Javon Williams, now with his team trailing by 7. Williams straight back to throw. He's got plenty of time. And as you see, he is not afraid to take off, gets up across the 25-yard line, and that is the threat that he gives them out of the backfield. He's only thrown for 543 yards on the season, but he's rushed for 500 yards as well. He's not afraid to tuck it and run.
And being a sophomore at quarterback, sometimes they just get a little bit antsy. They try to leave the pocket too soon. He had good protection. There was nobody on him. As he matures and becomes a better quarterback, he'll start finding those receivers and sit in the pocket longer.
Got 6 yards on the carry, so it's 2nd down and 4. Ball is on the ground, and he has to just fall on it. And that'll be back close to the original line of scrimmage, so you negate the positive play with another play that could have been a disaster.
And right now, you do not want to give Ashland the ball in that position on the field.
3rd down and 10.
And this is a big play. If Ashland can hold him here, they're going to get great field position again.
It's Christian Sanchez in the backfield. But Williams back to throw, has time, ball tipped in the air, and it's going to be picked off. Braden Harter with the interception, and the Arrows with the ball inside the 35-yard line.
Tip play. One of the things you see coaches do in practice all the time is they'll throw the ball, somebody will tip it up in the air, and who's ever free jumps for it. Tip drill, practice drill, paid off tonight.
First interception of the season for Harter as he lays out. And the Arrows with the ball at the 34-yard line, looking to add to a 7-0 lead. Rohr swings it out. That's Metzger. And Metzger up across 25. They'll give him forward progress to the 24. That's going to be close to another first down. Nate Sinagra came up to make the stop. And they will have enough yardage for the first down. So Ashland with a 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line of Holy Name.
And Ashland's passing attack is clicking right now. They're 6 for 7 completions so far.
Hartley is going to be stopped in the backfield and does not get back to the line of scrimmage. So the Green Wave defense with a nice job of penetration. Braden Kaminsky leading the charge.
You know, the way Ashland's throwing the ball right now, they can pick their zone, throw the ball anywhere they want. You know, I might see them throwing the ball a little bit more here.
Trips now to the right as they empty the backfield. Rohr swings it out. That's Metzger again. Inside the 15, down to about the 13. He'll be close to another first down. McNamara again up defensively. About a yard shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd down and 1. Hartley has the first down and then some as he continues, and he's going to be stopped close to the line about the 1 yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Arrows. And Hartley almost took that to the house. This was just a nice, strong piece of running by Hartley. Kept his feet driving, kept his shoulders down. And Hartley's going to be stopped short, or is he?
Touchdown.
Nope, they're going to give him the touchdown. So Ethan Hartley from 2 yards out, and Ashland now with an opportunity to go up 14-0. Hartley now with 8 rushing touchdowns on the season.
And what a ball game. What a ball game for Ashland. They've done no wrong.
Isaac Roop on to attempt the extra point. Kick is up, and it's good. Ashland with a 14-0 lead, 1:43 to go in the first quarter. And they're doing it on both sides of the ball. The offense looks very, very good, and the defense has been outstanding.
And the defense is setting up the offense, giving them the ball in great position. The interception gives Ashland great field position. And when you give a football team like Ashland, who has an offense that can move the football, a short field to work with, it's going to hurt you tonight. It's going to hurt. Ashland's going to hurt you. As long as you keep giving them a short field, they're going to make things happen and put points on the board.
Well, we talked about poise for the sophomore quarterback, down 7-0. Now you're down 2 scores.
Right, and it's going to put pressure on you. And the biggest thing you want, we're still in the first quarter. And Ashland's got 101 yards throwing the ball in the air already. And a holy name, they have to get their offense moving. They have got to keep the Ashland offense off the field, and the best way to do that is to have an offense that can put together a few first downs. But more importantly, Ashland's playing on a short field the whole night.
Caden Spots will kick off for the Arrows. Eric Jones back to receive along with Garrett Sparks. And the Green Wave looking for a spark as they now trail by 2 touchdowns. And that's Sparks from the 1 yard line. And Sparks runs right into the guy who had the interception, Braylon Harter. There's a flag down, the first penalty flag of the ball game. Well, they're going to pull that, so there'll be no penalty on the play. So the Green Wave will take the ball 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line, down 14-0.
And they got to get their offense moving, Brian. They've only got 6 yards in passing. They've got about 25 in rushing. They got to move the sticks.
Williams back to throw. Swings it. Sanchez was the intended target. It falls incomplete. Javon Williams has only thrown, you count that interception in the first quarter, that was only his 2nd interception of the season.
And you got to take your hat off to the Ashland defense. These kids are playing sky high right now. They can do no wrong.
Williams going to run up the middle, and again, he's got nowhere to go as he runs right into the teeth of the Ashland defense. Christian Garish there leading the way.
And again, Ashland has put Holy Name into a 3rd and long situation. If Ashland stops them here, again, the offense is going to get a short field in.
Almost 1 minute to go in the opening quarter. Williams on 3rd and long, and there's movement everywhere. And I believe this is going to go against the Green Wave. So the false start doesn't help. Sean Cedar's got to like what he sees on that play. It backs them up 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and 14.
And when things start to go bad for you, they're all falling bad.
Williams looks right side. And it's incomplete. That's kind of a dangerous pass. Eric Jones, the intended receiver. And the Green Wave go quietly.
I think they just tried to loosen up that defense a little bit there. They had to get some yardage. But as you said, Ashland, they must have had 6 dark jerseys all around the ball over there.
So Jonathan Metzger will stand at about midfield to take this kick. So the Arrows should have very good field position.
And again, you can thank the Ashland defense for doing this, giving them good field position.
It's a low kick. Metzger from the 49. And he gets 3 yards on the return up to about the 46. They do a nice job of coverage as Braden Kaminsky comes down on special teams. And the Arrows now with a 14-0 lead with 34 seconds to go in the first quarter.
And they got a short field. They got an offense that's clicking on all cylinders. Holy Name needs something to happen right here. They got somehow, some way, they got to slow Ashland's offense down.
Hartley in the backfield along with Declan Rohr. They fake it to Hartley, swinging out to Metzger. And Metzger, who has had a big first quarter, first down yardage down to the 36-yard line. They have really lost sight of where number 21 is, and he has burned them more than once here in the first quarter.
And they're playing deep. They don't want to get burnt, Holy Name, and they're leaving the young man wide open. It's an easy pitch and catch and run up the field. Ashland is putting their best receivers in the best position of one-on-one and just letting them run the field.
This is going to be the final play of the quarter. Rohr looks left side. It's going to be incomplete, and that will stop the clock with about a half a second to go in the quarter.
Holy Name had two defensive backs over there. To me, it looked like the quarterback saw that. He was going to try and throw it to number 1, so he just threw it out of bounds.
McFrederick already with a touchdown tonight here in the first quarter. 2nd down and 10 from the 36-yard line. Rohr fakes the handoff. He's going to run around the left side to be tripped up and out of bounds at the 35-yard line, and that'll do it for the first quarter. It's all Arrows 14-0 as we head to the second. You're watching high school football live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Lacey Construction, they understand that finding the right company for your home improvement needs can be very stressful. The professionals at Bo Lacey Construction can help alleviate that stress. Call Bo Lacey Construction at 266-9916.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Us here at OH Report. It's 4th down and 8, and the Arrows are going to go for it here, up 14-0, and now we have a timeout taken by the Arrows as they want to make sure they get this fourth down play down pat. Brian Harter, Bruce Weirich from Community Stadium in Ashland. The Arrows offense and defense has been outstanding in the first quarter. Declan Rohr, 8 of 10, 112 yards passing, 27 yards rushing for Ashland. Now the defense has held Holy Name to 22 yards on the ground, 6 yards passing. That's 28 yards of total offense, and that's not going to get it done, especially in the playoffs.
Not at this level. Not at this level of play. When you're this deep into the playoffs, you got to have an offense. But as I've stated before, to make it in the playoffs, when things start getting rough, your defense has got to step up. And the Ashland defense is playing outstanding right now.
So Sean Cedar and the Arrows are going to go for it here on 4th and 8 from the Green Wave 34-yard line. That's Hartley in motion to the far side. Rohr back to throw, looks for Hartley down the far sideline. It's going to be caught. A flag is down. And that's going to be pass interference.
Oh, it's on Ashland.
Oh, they're going to call a push-off. Now, we're sitting right next to the Ashland coaches box, and let me just say they're not happy.
No, I tell you, it was a great play, but the defender was in front of the ball. The official's running down the sidelines. He was right there. He's got a good view of it.
So now does this change the play call on 4th, and now it's going to be, they're going to, the ball's going to come all the way back.
Time to punt
midfield,
the ball.
So they're going to kick the ball.
Well, the way your defense is playing, you want to keep Holy Name in the hole. And the last thing you want to do is give them the ball at the 40 or the 50-yard line. So you're going to punt them, keep them in the hole. When you're in the hole like that, your offense is limited.
So Isaac Roop will kick it from about the 40-yard line. He almost got it blocked. It's going to bounce and take an Ashland roll down to about the 11-yard line. So that's where the Green Wave will start this drive of the ball game, down 14-0. Tonight's high school playoff football broadcast is brought to you live and free on the OH Report thanks to our generous sponsors, Spherion of Mid Ohio, your connection to local jobs from light industrial to skilled professional. They have opportunities for everyone. Visit midohiojobs.net and let's get to work. Also by Kissel's Lawncare, painting, and snow removal. Yes, it's going to be time for snow removal here pretty soon. Call Dave at 419-571-1152 to get a free quote for your next painting project, or find Kissel's on Facebook. Williams is going to run, and he's going to be stuffed at the line of scrimmage as they are just teeing off and going after, as you said earlier, just flying to the ball.
And as soon as that quarterback takes a step forward, I mean, you can hear the coaches yelling, everybody's yelling, go after that guy, and that's what they're doing. They are just all over him as soon as he gets the ball.
Well, they want to force the sophomore quarterback to beat them throwing the football. 2nd down and 10. Williams has some time. High throw. Falls incomplete. Was intended for Garrett Sparks.
And that puts them in a 3rd and long situation, and Ashland's just going to sit back and jump on the ball when it's in the air. And these are situations where those front 3 down linemen, they just start licking their chops, and they know they can just turn loose and go after that quarterback. Maybe the defensive coordinator will send a linebacker in, try and get a little pressure on the sophomore quarterback.
Sanchez in the backfield. Rolling to his right is Williams. Ball going to be incomplete as he was looking for Christopher Bowden. And the Green Wave go quietly here with 10:57 to go in the second quarter.
And again, the Ashland defense, because of their rough play and how they're playing, going after and attacking the ball, is going to give the offense of Ashland great field position again. And they've done that all night.
There you saw Sean Cedar on the sideline. There he is. Inside, he's smiling, but he also knows he's got a lot of football left to go as we're at the 10:57 mark of the second quarter. So the Green Wave are going to kick it from their own end zone. It's a low kick taken by one of the up men. I do not think that's how it was drawn up.
No, there are 3 phases to every game. There's an offense, a defense, and a specialty team, and right now Holy Name's having trouble in all three sectors of it. And the Ashland team is jacked up. They're playing at home. They got a friendly crowd. The band's going crazy, and they are playing top-notch football at this point.
It is now 1st and 10 at the Green Wave 15-yard line.
And again, the defense is giving the offense a short field, and you're in 4-down territory already.
Arrows already up by 2 scores. Winner of tonight's game will take on either West Holmes or Tiffin Columbia, and we'll try to get you that score as the night goes on. Hartley up the middle and runs right into the middle of that Green Wave defense. Getting up from the bottom of the pile defensively, Nate Sinagra. Gain of about 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8 from the 13.
And as long as that offensive line, that front 5, can control that defensive front, Ashland's going to be able to do almost anything they want because the quarterback has time. The seams are there for the backs. No pressure on the quarterback.
There's movement on the line, and they're going to call a false start against Ashland. There was movement. I think it was the left guard.
That's their second penalty of the night.
So that'll make it 2nd down and 13 as they move the ball out to the 18-yard line.
And that's one of the things you start practicing. The very first practice is a snap count. Hold the snap count. Know the snap count. Late in the season, you jump off, just drives coaches crazy.
Rohr swings it out. This one's caught. And out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. That was a nice reception by Jaden Jones. Garrett Sparks came up to make the play. It'll be 3rd down and about 5. Arrows stay on the ground. That's Jacob Beverly with the call, and he's going to be stopped short of the 1st down. It's going to be 4th and about 1. And the Arrows are going to go for it here on 4th and short.
And the way their offensive line's been playing, controlling the defensive front, it's a very good call by the coach.
Well, my money, I'm giving it number 13. And that's what they do. And he is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. And the defense for the Green Wave hold, and Ashland turns it over on downs.
Boy, that was Holy Name. If they needed a big stop, that was it right there.
So the Green Wave with an opportunity now, but they're going to be deep in their own territory. They get the stop, but they're going to get the ball back at about the 8-yard line.
And the way the Ashland defense has been going after them, 1, 2, 3 punt possible.
Nine minutes, 18 seconds to go here in the first half. Ashland with a 14-0 lead in this regional semifinal matchup. A little bit of breathing room as Christian Sanchez gets up to about the 13-yard line. Gain of about 5.
And that's a play you don't see a lot of, where you lead a lead back, almost like the fullback on the linebacker, isolation play.
Sanchez again. This time he is stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. As you see, the play was just blown up by Jake Beaver.
And this is another 3rd down situation. Holy Name only has 1 first down, Brian, the whole ball game so far. 1 first down. They need a first down.
There's movement on the line, and I think it's going to be a false start against the Green Wave.
Yep.
So they're going to be backed up even more. It'll be 3rd down and 16.
That's their second penalty of the night, 10 yards. And this one hurts. This one hurts bad. You're moving the sticks. You had a short yard. Now you got 11 yards to go. And this Ashland defense, I'd be sending everything that I had, putting the pressure on them.
Williams going to roll to his left, and he is not going to get back to the 10-yard line as the Arrows read that play perfectly.
And you got to take your hat off to the coaching staff. You know, during the week you have to practice, and every time number 8 takes a step like he's running the ball, you can hear everybody start yelling, and off we go.
There's an update of the Lucas score there on top of McDonald, 14-7 in the second quarter. We'll keep an eye on the Cubs as Week 10 advances here tonight. Here the Arrows up 14-0, and they forced another punt. Again, another low kick, but this one takes a green wave roll all the way down to midfield and just inside at about the 49-yard line. So that kick was about 15 yards, I'll say, in the air, but it was about 5 feet off the ground. That was not a pretty kick.
Back in the old days before artificial turf, that ball would have stopped 20 yards earlier. But on this turf, sometimes it hits, it'll just roll and roll forever.
Grass. So the Arrows with a 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line. 7.5 minutes to go in the opening half here at Community Stadium.
And again, Brian, you got to take your hat off to that Ashland defense. They are all over that Holy Name offense.
Well, and that could have been, dejection as you get close there on 4th and goal and you don't get into the end zone. But your defense comes up big. And there you see a nice run by Jacob Beverly. And he's going to get about 5 yards down to the 46-yard line, actually 6 yards to the 45. So Beverly, a nice change of pace from Hartley. And he gets 6 yards. It's now 2nd and 4.
And what a stable of running backs, Brian. You can put anybody back there you want and give them the ball. They're going to get positive yards.
It's Beverly again. Well, that's Caden Spots, and that's his first carry of the night. Spots last week in the win over Norwalk had 46 yards on 12 carries, so that's the first time that we've seen him carry the ball tonight. 3rd down and 3 from the 44. Rohr swings it out. This one's caught by Spots, breaks a tackle across the 40, down to the 30, down to the 20, and he's going to be drugged down from behind at the 15-yard line. And saving the touchdown was Christopher Bowden. We talked about the stable of backs. Spots comes in on cue and puts the Arrows down inside the 20-yard line.
And it's amazing. First he does it with his legs. He's running the ball, and then he catches it. Again, big handout to the blocking. Ashland blockers are doing a job giving these receivers open field.
Now, Caden Spots is a freshman. So they should have some pretty high hopes for him in the future. Oh, there's a big defensive play that was blown up by Mason Craycraft. Loss of about 2. It's 2nd and 12, and there was nowhere to go on that play for Jaden Jones.
Somebody missed a block on the backside. A lot of times you call it a cutoff block. You got to block those back gaps. Holy Name slipped through, made the tackle in the backfield.
2nd and 12, ball resting at the Green Wave 16. Rohr over the middle. And it's incomplete. That would have been a tough grab for Jaden Jones. He kind of had to turn. The ball was thrown behind him.
But there was a possibility that it could have caught it. That's how talented this football team is. Quarterback put the ball where it couldn't be intercepted, couldn't bring it down.
3rd and 12 from the Holy Name 16-yard line.
Do you go for the first down or just get half of it to set up a field goal?
Well, they've only had one field goal all year. So I'm going to guess they're going to go for the end zone. Harry's going to go end zone on this play, and it's almost picked off in and out of the hands of Eric Jones.
Try to run the wheel route. You run the receiver up the field, head him for the goalpost, bring the back out of the backfield, loop him around. Incomplete.
Well, Isaac Roop is going to come in and attempt a field goal. So as we just said that they did not kick a lot of field goals, as you get into the playoffs, this could become a very important part of your offense. So Roop is going to come on and attempt this one. It's going to be a 32-yard attempt.
The deeper you go in the playoffs, the tougher the defenses get, the more points. You got to be able to put points on any way you can.
Kick is up, and it's no good. It did not have the distance. So Ashland again denied points here in the second quarter. 5:06 to go. The Arrows with a 14-0 lead, and they've kind of hit a lull here in the second quarter.
You kind of get the feeling that Holy Name's starting to pick up where they left off last year when they knocked off number 3 team in the region, and they're starting to play a little bit better defense, trying to make some things happen. If they can get their offense moving, they might 14 points is not a lot to overcome.
Well, their defense last week against Bowling Green was lights out. They held Bowling Green without anything in the second half, and it allowed their offense to get just enough done to get them to this matchup here with Ashland.
Well, so far the Ashland defense has been setting the tone of this ball game, giving their Ashland offense short fields, the run on, and right now this defense is holding aim back.
Don't know what they're talking about down at the 20-yard line. The officials coming in to talk to both sides here. I don't know what they're discussing.
Hard to tell anymore.
No, I think we're ready to play. So now let's see if the offense for the Green Wave can get something going against this Ashland defense.
They've only put 1 first down on the board. Holy Name has got to move the ball. They've got to move the sticks.
Sanchez going to get about 6 yards up to the 26-yard line. And that's one of the few things that has worked for the Green Wave here, Bruce, in the first half, has been running the football.
Yeah, they're running this isolation play, and it's a read block, and they're letting the offensive lineman match up one-on-one with the defense, and then the lead blocker's taking the linebacker, and the ball carrier's picking a seam.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4, and Williams going to come back to the near side. It's going to be caught. That's a first down, and then some up across the 45. And finally knocked out of bounds at midfield. The largest play offensively for the night. That was a nice throw to the big tight end, Colin Phillips. And don't look now, but the Green Wave at midfield, 1st and 10.
And when you get this far into the playoffs, teams are good. You know, you don't get this far by having a bad football team, offense or defensively. So it just took Holy Name a little bit of time to wake up, and here they come.
Sanchez now tries to run on the left side. He fights for a couple of yards, and the pile being pushed down to the 45-yard line, and you talked about that big front. And they are making their presence felt here as we approach the 4-minute mark of the second quarter.
Yeah, look at the trenches. Has it changed? Has momentum changed? Is the defensive front getting worked on by the offensive line?
But I'll tell you what, it looked like Ashland was going to take control of this game going up 14-0, but if Holy Name can go down and score, it's a whole new ball game. Williams swings it out. It wasn't pretty from the beginning, but it's caught. Another reception by the tight end, Phillips. And it's going to be 3rd down and about 6 as the ball down to the Ashland 45-yard line. And Williams a couple of times here has had some troubles with that center quarterback exchange.
Yeah, you got a sophomore in there. You're in a big game. You're playing at Ashland. You're on the turf. You got cold. The Ashland fans. It's cold out there. You got to be nervous.
3rd down and a long 5. Williams back to throw. Again, that's Phillips, and again it's a first down as he's brought down at the 36-yard line. Coming up defensively for Ashland was Caden Schmitz. Another first down for the Green Wave.
And they're moving the ball with the tight end. The tight end now is a bubble screen. He just came back inside after the linemen blocked up field a little bit, made good yardage on it, and he is a nice-looking athlete.
1st and 10 from the Ashland 36. Jet sweep. That's Christopher Bowden. That's his first carry of the night. And don't look now, Bruce, but this offense is finding some rhythm. There, an offensive update from Lucas. The Cubs with a 21-7 lead over McDonald. So the Cubbies looking to advance here in Week 10.
Yeah, you're right about this, Brian. Holy Name is moving the football. They're doing it, running the ball.
2nd down and 3. Sanchez off the left side pushes the pile, and he's going to be close to a first down. See if that initial surge by Sanchez is enough to move the sticks. And they're going to say he's about a yard short, so it'll be 3rd and 1.
And they're running inside, and then they'll run an outside play. Inside. They're bringing the linebackers in, and then they're turning around and pitching it outside.
Well, and what I also like about this drive, Bruce, is they're not asking the sophomore quarterback to do a lot. They have
just get a first down.
Get a first down on the quarterback sneak, and let's see if he has enough yardage. There's just follow your big offensive line, and that depends. Let's see, depending on the spot. This is going to be close. Nope, they're going to give it to him. So the chains move with 1:37 to go, and the drive is still alive for the Green Wave of Holy Name.
And as a coach, you sit back, and even your players, you go up 14 points real quick. Sometimes you get a little easy. You're sitting back. You feel it's going to be an easy game. You give Holy Name an opportunity to catch their breath, and here they come. They're breathing right down your neck.
1st and 10 from the Ashland 26. Williams rolls to his left, has some time, looks a wide open receiver. It's going to be caught. And a touchdown for Holy Name. No, they're going to say he's down at the 1. They're going to they take the touchdown off the board. They're going to say his knee went down before he got into the end zone. This was a nice throw and a wide open target. Garrett Sparks made the reception. So now it's 1st and goal from the 1. Sanchez, left side, touchdown. This time it stands. So Holy Name, there you get to see the graphic twice. Holy Name on the board with 1:07 to go before halftime. And don't look now, we got a ball game.
And Holy Name looked like they got their wind underneath them. You know, they came out, they were messed up a little bit. Their offense wasn't clicking. Their defense was opening up some seams for the Ashland offense. Now they're running a huddle play.
Sanchez with his 8th touchdown of the season. Jonathan Stanislow on to attempt the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good, and we have a ball game. 14-7 Ashland with 1:07 to go before halftime. How big is that big 4th down stop where they stopped Ashland from converting?
And, you know, there's a momentum letdown. Ashland doesn't convert. They come away with nothing, and the next thing you know, Holy Name goes the length of the field, and it's a mental game. It's a mental game. Ashland played tremendous defense the first.
Construction.com for your next kitchen, bath, roofing, siding, or remodeling project. Also by Park National Bank. Richland Bank may be changing their name, but not their philosophy. They're still your hometown bank, supporting your hometown teams. Same bank, bigger promise. Brian Harter, Bruce Weirich from Community Stadium in Ashland. We've got a good one now. Ashland with a 14-7 lead, and Do we dare say the momentum is shifting here a little bit before halftime? Johnson gets up to about the 19-yard line.
And I think you're right on that a little bit, Brian. I think momentum has adjusted, changed a little bit, but I think one of the big keys are Holy Name found their tight end. Their tight end, number 82, he made 3 big catches on that drive, and that's what opened up this offense. And then you give the ball to number 4, and he rams it down your throat for the short yardage. But I think the tight end, and I don't understand why they call him tight ends anymore, because he never lines up next to a tackle. He's in a 2-point stance. He's like a wide receiver. He made that offense go that time. He had 3 catches. He had 37 yards on it. They found their tight end.
And Phillips is a big target, 6'2", 220. Rohr swings it out, caught by Metzger. Metzger is stopped at about the 28-yard line, and Ashland quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Now, Ashland will get the ball to start the third quarter, but they would love to get some points on the board here before intermission. Rohr on second and short. Fires, caught. No, it's incomplete. Ball intended for Colton Johnson, the sophomore.
And you can just see the momentum change. I mean, that defense from Holy Name, first quarter, they couldn't do anything right. Right now, they picked up their feet. They're hustling to the ball. They're making the hits.
Third down and 2, 38 seconds to go before halftime. That's Hartley coming in motion. Rohr swings it out right side. That's Metzger again at the 30, and he's going to be dropped right after he gets the first down. Christopher Bowden comes up to make the stick, and they'll stop the clock. Now they'll move the clock as they set the ball. 29 seconds to go before halftime.
Ashland has a type of offense they can score at any time.
Rohr, all kinds of time. Complete, but still well short of the first down. Jaden Jones makes the reception. Timeout's going to be taken by the Ashland Arrows with 13 seconds to go before the intermission.
And this is what I like. The Ashland offense is out there. They haven't changed. They're still throwing the ball up the field. Every second means points for them. They can score at any time, and they're just going to work their offense and see if they can't find something that's open. Holy Name, on the other hand, they're going to let them catch anything that's thrown underneath, and they're going to react up to it. They don't want anything thrown over their heads.
So what's been the big difference defensively for Holy Name in the first quarter versus what they were doing now in the second quarter?
You take a look at what's going on down there, and Ashland's offense is faltering a little bit right now. The passes aren't as crisp. They're hitting the out routes, but the big thing is Holy Name's defense is rushing to the ball, and they're putting Ashland in a situation where they got a third and long.
Third down, or second down now, and 6 from the 35. The Arrows with 13 seconds to go. Got a couple of timeouts left. That's Hartley in motion to the near side. And that's going to go against the offense. And that's something you hate to see coming out of a timeout, is a procedure call against your offense.
Yeah, you got to remember, these are just young kids. They get anxious out there. Somebody moves too quick, and you get distracted. You really get distracted. You're trying to focus in on what you have to do on this play, and you get anxious and you jump a little bit and move too soon. 5-yard penalty.
So now it's 2nd and 11. Let's see what Sean Cedar and the Arrows offensive coaching staff comes up here.
And if Holy Name is on their game, they may call a timeout after this play. They got to reset the clock. Holy Name may use their timeouts and force Ashland into a punt and see if they can't get a short field and one shot at the score.
There they put it back to 13.6 seconds. Rohr swings it out. It's caught by Hartley. And Hartley out of bounds at the 35-yard line, well short of the first down. 7 seconds now to go before the intermission. So the Arrows probably with one more play here before halftime.
And if you notice Holy Name, they've got 3 guys real deep. The last thing they want to do is let Ashland get over and behind them. They're playing 2 men deep, 4 guys deep.
5 receivers set. Roar with a quick hitter out to McFedrick, and he's out of bounds at the 44-yard line. 4 seconds to go. He's got a first down, so the Arrows will get one more play. Get a little bit closer. And this will be the final play, barring a penalty.
The only thing they got is go deep. Go deep.
Roar swings it out. That's Hartley. He's out of bounds at the 49, and that is going to do it for the first half. Ashland with a 14-7 lead as we enter the intermission. You're watching high school playoff football live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
At Bo Lacey Construction, they understand that finding the right company for your home improvement needs can be very stressful. The professionals at Bo Lacey Construction can help alleviate that stress. Call Bo Lacey Construction at 266-9916.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
At Bo Lacey Construction, they understand that finding the right company for your home improvement needs can be very stressful. The professionals at Bo Lacey Construction can help alleviate that stress. Quality materials, professional employees, and they offer great financing options along with 1 year of interest-free financing. So now is the very best time to get those energy-saving new windows, insulation, and vinyl siding installed. Call Bo Lacey Construction at 266-9916.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community.
I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Kissel's Lawncare. There's no job too big or too small for us to handle. With top-of-the-line equipment, we are guaranteed to complete your next landscaping job efficiently and professionally. A hard-working, dedicated team is what we take pride in, bringing to every job to make sure the results are the best they can be. So the next time you have a landscaping project that needs done, think smart and think Kissel.
full moon coming out.
It is halftime here at Community Stadium in Ashland, where the Arrows with a 14-7 lead over Holy Name. And before we go any farther, I have to give a shout out to Adam Thompson. The graphics outstanding for Halloween here at Community Stadium.
And we just had the full moon breakout, and woo, here we go.
The Holy Name has got to be wondering if they're going to survive this Halloween. They're trying to get back into this, and as we take a look at the halftime numbers, this is not a surprise. This Ashland Arrows offense is used to putting up these kind of numbers.
And they're throwing the ball like they always do, 180 yards, just passing the ball. Basically short routes, receivers are catching it, working their way upfield, but they do have the big man down the middle for the big catch on the post route. 220 total yards, 9 first downs, and then you come back with Holy Name. And once Holy Name found their tight end, Brian, and that young man had 3 catches on the one drive for 37 yards, that opened up their offense, and that's the drive they scored on.
But unfortunately for Holy Name, they have not gotten any offense anywhere else. Javon Williams, a quiet 5 of 10 for 72 yards. Christian Sanchez, 33 yards and only 9 carries. For Ashland, Declan Rohr has been outstanding in the first half. 16 of 22, 180 yards and a touchdown. Jonathan Metzger, 7 catches for 68 yards. Ethan Hartley's had kind of a quiet first half, only 26 yards on 8 carries. But we know this Ashland offense can put points on the board, but that's something they did not do in the second quarter. The offense kind of stalled, and that was because the Holy Name defense really stepped up in that second quarter and got them back in the game.
And that's the defense is going to win championships for you. They're going to advance you in the playoffs when your defense can play. And, you know, it's like night and day. You look at that first quarter, Ashland couldn't miss on anything. They put 2 touchdowns on the board. I thought the game was over. I was ready to pack up and go home. I said, Holy Name. They shot themselves in the foot. It's over. Collect them, put them on the bus, and go home. But they hung in there. They did a great job. On their one scoring drive, they found their tight end. And that young man opened up the offense. He hit a bubble screen in the middle for 25 yards. The quarterback got a little confidence there. They gave it to the fullback on the ISO play, kept the inside game going. They scored, and they wrapped this up 14-7. We're in a ball game.
You're watching high school playoff football live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
At Bo Lacey Construction, they understand that finding the right company for your home improvement needs can be very stressful. The professionals at Bo Lacey Construction can help alleviate that stress. Call Bo Lacey Construction at 266-9916.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
bats are flying right into the press box. Brian Harter, Bruce Weirich here from Community Stadium. The Arrows with a 14-7 lead, and do we dare say they're clinging to a 14-7 lead? They jumped out to a 14-0 lead in the first quarter, and it looked like it was going to be a rout, but Holy Name got a big stop on fourth down, and since then, the Green Wave they've ridden a wave of momentum. And
where'd that Ashland offense go the second quarter? The first quarter they came out and did anything they wanted. They threw the ball, they ran the ball, they were doing a great job, put 14 points on. But as you said, Brian, they had the short field. The Ashland defense gave the ball back to them on a short field. They couldn't get any points, even missed a field goal. Next thing you know, Holy Name takes the ball, goes the length of the field, and they basically found their tight end. They hit their tight end on three big plays, pass catching on that, and moved them down the field. And then their big tailback scored for them, and we're at a 14-7 ball game.
Well, the winner of tonight's game will take on either Tiffin Columbian or West Holmes next week. And right now at halftime, Tiffin Columbian with a 21-14 lead. So that's a good ball game as well. West Holmes has really come on here in the last couple of weeks, and they're gonna have a say in who gets out of this region.
And the thing about West Holmes is they can score. You look at some of the scores they have, they're scoring 40 points a game. And when you have an offense that can put points on the board, you can have a pretty bad defense and still win some ball games.
So Ashland trying to get out of this region, as is Holy Name. And we've talked about a lot of the success that Scott Valentine had here. And you see his stamp on this offense and the defense and the things that they do well here. How much of that carries over from the prior coaching staff to what they're doing now?
Well, Scott Valentine, he had a successful season. He is in the playoffs all the time. They're putting points on. He had players going to Division I, Division II schools, so it's a feeder system that he got going. So the material is there. And when Cedar, you just have to have the right person come in and do the job. And he came in. He's doing a great job. He's continuing what has been built, and Ashland's on a roll.
Well, the Dogs seem to be happy with what they're seeing here tonight on Halloween weekend here in North Central Ohio. Brian Harter, Bruce Weirich from Community Stadium. We have got a good one. This looked like it was going to be a rout in the first quarter. Ashland jumping out to a 14-0 lead. They had a 4th and goal situation deep in Ashland or Holy Name territory, and it looked like they were going to go up 21-0. I even called the play. Yeah. Ethan Hartley's going to get the ball. Holy Name stopped him, and ever since then, the defense has really shut down Ashland, and the offense for Holy Name has started to show signs of life.
When you have a sophomore at quarterback, he had a big game last week. They beat the number 3 seed, I think it was, in Bowling Green. And now you come to Ashland, you might have been feeling a bus ride jitters, or you got a young kid at quarterback. You're going to face a great defense, and it took them a little while to get started. So my big thing is it's halftime. They come out of the locker room. This is like the beginning of the ball game now. Holy Name should have their legs underneath them. They should start to do something. Ashland defense, can the Ashland defense maintain what they were doing the first and second quarter? And that is shut them down.
Make sure to catch the final playoff pigskin live Monday night at 7:30 exclusively on the OH Report Facebook and YouTube channels, where Brian Skoronsky, Eric Will, and Kurt Conrad recap all the postseason action throughout North Central Ohio with top plays, outstanding performances, highlights, and more. And I've got to say, Bruce, it's been a lot of fun doing games this season. Our first time here on the OH Report. We have seen a lot of good matchups. We have seen a lot of outstanding players and coaches, and this is the tip of the iceberg. We're really looking forward. We're looking forward to basketball season. And it's probably one of the good things that's come out of COVID is we've had an opportunity to do these games live.
And it's fun. And it really is fun. OH Report makes it fun. They're trying to make it fan-friendly. You can report on it. They'll put you up on the fan zone. You can talk to us. You can tell us what you like, what you don't like, if we made a good call or a bad call. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is the history, or this is the future of high school football.
And we are excited to be a part of it, and we're excited now as we're getting ready to start the second half here. Ashland will get the ball with a 7-point lead. It's going to be a high short kick angle to the far side. It's fumbled out of bounds, but Ashland is going to get the ball at about their own 40-yard line, and has been the pattern here in the first half going into the second. They're going to have pretty good field position.
And what a scary play. You know, it hits the young receiver in the chest. The ball bounces on the ground. Just think if Holy Name recovered that. But the ball bounced Ashland's way, went out of bounds. And when you win in a ball game and you're ahead, you hate to make too many adjustments to your offense. So my big guess is, what adjustments did Holy Name make at halftime to shut down this offense?
Well, we're about to find out as the Ashland offense trots out onto the field for their first drive of the third quarter. Declan Rohr with 180 yards passing in the first half. They're going to start on the ground. That's Hartley, gets up to the 45, a gain of about 4. Leading the way defensively for Holy Name was Seth Wallace, the senior defensive lineman. So a gain of 4. That'll bring up a 2nd and 6. So a lot of Jonathan Metzger in the first half for the Arrows. Declan Rohr back to throw, fires over the middle. It's almost picked off right in the hands of Nate Sinagra.
And right off the bat, you start to see the difference in the Holy Name defense. They're putting more pressure on the quarterback. I think that's the first pressure he's had all night. And what's he do? He throws it almost an interception. But look at the secondary of Holy Name. Instead of playing deep, now they got everybody playing up. They're moving across the line. They're only 5 yards away from the receivers. They're making things happen.
Declan Rohr on third down. They set up a screen pass on the far side, and it's a first down to about the 46-yard line. The reception made by Ethan Hartley, a perfect play call, anticipating the pressure by the Green Wave, and Ashland with a first down in Holy Name territory.
And it was a perfect call. Holy Name's putting pressure on, trying to get through them. Anytime you see the defensive line rushing that quarterback as easy as they did, look for the screen play underneath it, and that's what Ashland hit. Great call.
Split backs in the backfield now with Declan Rohr. They swing it out near side. That's Jones. Jones with yardage. He spun down at the 40-yard line, a pickup of 6. Verboden in on the play for the Green Wave. So they start the drive with a run by Hartley. And now they're looking to just spread the ball around. It's 2nd down and 4.
And Holy Name, they've got to start playing a little bit more aggressive. We saw that out of Lucas last week, playing a little bit more aggressive on those receivers.
There you get a good look down the line of scrimmage. Rohr swings it out. This one's caught, but no yards after the catch as Garrett Sparks was all over Jonathan Metzger.
And that's what we said a little bit ago. They got to be a little bit more aggressive when those guys catch the ball out there, the Ashland receivers in air. You got to get to them right now, and that's one of the things that they've made a big adjustment this half.
Well, yes, because in the first half, that swing pass out there to Metzger was probably a 15, 20-yard gain. Instead, they limit him to no yards after the catch.
And the defensive backs are playing a little bit tougher to the line.
Trips to the right. Rohr out of the gun on 3rd and 6. Rohr straight back to throw. Now starts to feel the pressure. Looks, fires, it's tipped, and it's incomplete. The Ashland coaching staff wanting pass interference, but they're not going to get a flag.
And the one thing you notice there, Brian, pressure on the quarterback. Holy Name's putting a little bit more pressure. They're bringing a linebacker. They're putting more pressure on the quarterback. He's not having the time to just sit back there and pick them apart.
So Isaac Roop will come on and kick as the drive stalls at the 46 or the 42-yard line. Garrett Sparks back to receive along with Christopher Bowden. And that's Bowden from the 5. So not much on the return as Ashland does a nice job in punt coverage, and this will be the first drive of the third quarter. 9:06 to go. Ashland with a 14-7 lead, and the Green Wave defense continues to do just enough to force Ashland to kick the ball.
And what do we see different that they're doing this half that they didn't do the first half? They're a little bit more aggressive with their pass coverage. They're up on the receivers a little bit more. But more importantly, they're putting pressure on the quarterback.
So now it's up to Javon Williams, the sophomore quarterback for the Green Wave. Sanchez, his first carry of the second half, about 3 yards, as he's brought down by Jake Beaver.
Almost identical to the play Ashland started with. Run the ball, see what the defense, see what adjustments they've made. Now start running your passing game.
Pickup of 2, second down and 8. Jet sweep to the near side, and nice running room for Christopher Bowden. And he's got first down yardage up across the 40-yard line. And don't look now, Bruce, but someone woke up the Green Wave offense.
And you got pat the coaching staff on the back. They go in at halftime. The defensive coach has been sitting up in the boxes, and the offensive coaches, they write up everything and say, okay, we're going to block this, make a little adjustment here, see if we can't get outside. Big gain.
Well, and if you noticed on the replay, Bowden wasn't even touched until he got up across the 40.
Starting to block at the line of scrimmage.
That's Sanchez up the middle, and he runs right into a pile. He'll get a yard, maybe 2 to the 45.
And you always run that fullback in the middle. What that does, that keeps those 2 inside linebackers inside. They can't be bailing out right away to cover the pass or to jump on the outside route. But right now, Holy Name's playing football again, Brian.
Second down and 8. Now Williams back to throw. Sets. It's caught. That's Garrett Sparks. Knocked out of bounds in front of the Ashland bench at the 45. That's another first down. And Holy Name trying to tie this ball game up here in the third quarter.
Is this the same offense? Is this the same offense that we saw the first half, Brian?
No, there's a lot more confidence, and they're doing different things. Now they fake it. That's Williams with his first big run of the night. Gets down to the 36-yard line. He's going to be close to another first down. And now if they can get him running the ball effectively.
They're starting to put pressure on Ashland. And I don't know, Brian, but it's called a green wave for some reason. What's the green wave?
Well, it's funny that you asked that because I happen to have the answer, and I'll give that to you after this play. That's Sanchez, and he runs right into the middle of the line of scrimmage. So the green wave originated back in the 1920s. And it's supposed to represent the giant green wave engulfing opponents.
Wow.
Now, they're also known as the Little Davids. That's in reference to David and Goliath.
Well, I'll tell you right now.
Small team going up against bigger schools.
Oh.
Swing it out, and there are flags all over the place.
That's their third penalty. They've got motion. You can see their offensive line moving.
We got an update from Lucas. The Cubs up 21-7 in the third quarter. Lucas again trying to make a playoff run as they did last year, getting all the way to the state title game. And right now, Ashland
but you talk about
trying to hold off the green wave.
You talk about the David and Goliath. I mean, somebody woke up Holy Name. Somebody told their offense, hey, we got to get out there and start making things happen because they are doing it right now.
1st and 15 as the penalty moves the ball out to the 40. And another flag, and again, this is going to be a false start against the offense. So they started off this drive moving the ball very well, and they were very crisp and precise. And now they're starting to sputter here a little bit as they're in Ashland territory.
And now you're at a 1st and 20, and it's a tough tough yard to make. This is going to be a tough first down.
I don't know how many 1st and 20 plays they have in their playbook, but we're going to see one right here. Williams swings it out, and that was a dangerous throw in the right flat. They were looking for Colin Phillips.
And we got flags flying everywhere.
The Ashland coaches are not happy. This is probably going to go against Ashland. And the arrows are starting to march downfield, so this could be a personal foul. Perhaps someone said something.
All I know is the flags were flying and the officials were on top of it.
Well, and the players knew it too because Ashland started moving back.
Taunting.
That will drive a coach crazy. You've got them at 2nd and 20. And the penalty is going to move the ball all the way up to the 30-yard line. It is now 1st and 5.
And that's a call you don't see a lot, taunting. But what it is that when a player does something wrong and you stand over them and you gloat, you do the slash on the throat move, that is called taunting, and it'll cost you 15 yards every time.
It is not an automatic first down. I'm sorry. It's 2nd and 5. Sanchez moves the pile up close to the 20, and he's going to be close to a first down. It's going to be 3rd and short. Jacob Beverly came up to make the play. Have another interesting piece of trivia here for you. For the Green Wave, did you know that back in 1946 they competed in the annual charity game at Cleveland Municipal Stadium? They played Cathedral Latin High School in front of 70,000 fans.
Wow. Hope they got a part of the profits on the ticket sale.
Javon Williams stopped before he got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to make it now 4th down and decision time for head coach Dan Wondolowski. Do you go for it here, down by 7 with 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter? It looks like the offense is going to stay on the field.
You have to go for it. You're down 7. Your offense has finally shown a little bit of life. The Ashland defense has been picking it up a little bit, but you're not going to have too many opportunities in this part of the field.
4th down and 3. Williams looks left, caught, first down, and yes, it's the big tight end, Colin Phillips. And he is still on his feet, dragging tacklers inside the 15-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for the Green Wave. Now that's Goliath.
And I'll tell you what, as soon as they found that tight end, look what that offense is doing. And he makes the clutch play, 4th down play, and you can't bring him down.
There's like 3, 4 black jerseys driving him to the turf. 1st and 10 at the Ashland 14-yard line. And the Green Wave threatening to tie this ball game with 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Looking into the end zone, right side, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Eric Jones in the corner of the end zone.
And every once in a while it's good. Just let the ball go. Just throw it deep. That tells those secondary guys, hey, we can't be playing up tight. We got to loosen up a little bit. Opens up the area underneath.
By the way, that 70,000 fans, that is a Cleveland record for a high school football game, the 2nd largest in the country. Williams swings it out near side, caught by Sparks. He's down inside the 5. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Green Wave. That was Christopher Bowden, with the reception, number 13. And the Green Wave, with all kinds of confidence here, with 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, they have a golden opportunity here to tie the ball game.
It's not the same team that came out the 1st quarter, Brian. I'll tell you that right now. The team we're watching now is just clicking away.
Sanchez up the middle, touchdown, and we have an opportunity here for the Green Wave on the extra point to tie it up.
That's his 2nd touchdown run of the night. And when you need 2 yards, you just give it to your tailback.
Big sophomore, 5'10", 230 pounds. All power, his second touchdown of the night, as you said. And with 4:03 to go, we have a brand new ball game. Austin Wondolowski on to attempt the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. And we are knotted at 14, 4:03 to go. And I tell you what, Bruce, if you would have told me this in the second quarter when Ashland went up 14-0, I would have said that you were crazy.
And Holy Name had one first down the first quarter. One first down. They couldn't do anything right now. They're starting to click on all cylinders, and we saw that vaulted Ashland defense. I mean, they shut them down play after play. They got the ball back for the offense in position. And right now, momentum has shifted to the other side of the field. Ashland needs a good offensive drive here to keep things alive.
Sean Cedar in his second season leading the Ashland Arrows. They, of course, 7-1 on this season. Last year they were 4-6. Bit of a transition year for the Arrows, but they are back this year looking like the Arrows teams of old. And right now they've got a big challenge here in Week 10 as they are now tied 14-all to Holy Name. The winner of tonight's game will take on either Tiffin Columbian or West Holmes next week. Johnson gets up to about the 18-yard line, so the Arrows, and arguably their worst field position of the night to start a drive, they're inside their own 20-yard line.
And when you think about that last series, you know, Holy Name was in the hole. They had 2 5-yard penalties. It was 1st and 20. Then the big taunting play, 15 yards.
Huge.
And that really took the wind out of Ashland. It moved up Holy Name, put them in a good position, and they ended up scoring on that. The Ashland offense has got to take control, and they got to move the sticks and move the ball down the field.
1st and 10 from the 18. Rohr swings it out. Short gain to the 20-yard line. Ball caught by Jaden Jones. To me, the two plays of the ball game to this point was the defensive stand for Holy Name on that 4th down play in the second quarter, and then the taunting call.
Yeah, those are 2 plays, and they worked in Holy Name's favor, and their defense is playing with a new goal right now, putting pressure on the quarterback.
Rohr swings it out to the right side. That one's dropped by Metzger.
And now the secondary has played a little bit tighter. Look for Ashland to go deep on them, maybe with a hook and go. Somebody will run a little out route and then turn it up the field or bring a back out of the backfield.
Well, other than the touchdown to Landon McFrederick in the first half, Ashland really hasn't taken a lot of shots downfield.
No, everything's been short and underneath. Time to go up.
Well, this has been an entertaining ball game, to say the least. And
motion.
Now we're going to have a motion call against Ashland.
That's their 5th penalty, 40 yards. And it changes the play call for the coach. When you have a 3rd and short, now you're back to a 3rd and long. Now it totally changes your thinking. You know, do you have to get 13 yards to get a first down? We don't want to punt here.
It's Hartley in motion to the right. Rohr now flushed out of the pocket, looks over the middle, and that's incomplete, and that one could have been picked off. That was in and out of the hands of Garrett Sparks, and that could have been a turnover.
And as we just got done talking, Brian, they had to go deep. They tried to go deep there, but what was the big difference? Pressure on the quarterback. Holy Name's getting pressure on the quarterback, forcing him to get off of his sweet spot and making him run and throw the ball out of his comfort zone. Quarterbacks get into a comfort zone where they like to throw the ball from a certain spot, and if you can get them off that spot, sometimes they have trouble with that.
Bowden and Sparks back to receive the kick, and it's going to be a short kick, but a flag is down. It's recovered by Ashland at the 10-yard line, but let's see what the flag is.
I don't think it could be hitting the punter because they blocked the ball. But we'll see what happens here.
Official coming over and explaining something to Sean Cedar.
It looks like it is against Holy Name.
So Roop's going to kick the ball again. We're going to say it was running into the kicker. And that's only 5 yards, so it's going to be still 4th down and another punting situation. I don't know if we can see. Well, didn't get a replay, so we'll just watch Roop kick it again. This time he gets it off. It's a high kick. It's going to take an Ashland roll to about the 45-yard line, and that's where the Green Wave will take over. We're tied at 14, 2:49 to go in the third quarter. And now the Green Wave with decent field position to start this drive with an opportunity now to take the lead.
And the big difference so far from first half to second half is the Green Wave's defense. The young men are coming up. They're playing tougher on the outside. They're attacking the ball carriers as soon as they get the ball. They're not giving that soft cushion. And the Holy Name defense is really picking up the game for the Holy Name team.
That dog looks like, what happened? He goes, Ashland was up 14-0.
And what Ashland needs now is a big defensive play. They need to stop Holy Name right here and right now.
They stay on the ground. That's Sanchez. He's got about 8 yards to the 47-yard line of Ashland. Jonathan Metzger came up to make the stop. There's a injured player for the Green Wave right in front of their bench. This looks like a cramp.
I think he just carried the ball, big guy.
Yeah, that's Christian Sanchez, and that's not good news if you're anyone on the Holy Name staff. Lucas adding to their lead. They're now up 27-7. With an update there from Lucas. Cubs looking to make another playoff run like they did a year ago, getting all the way to the state title game. We also have a Tiffin Columbian West Holmes update. Tiffin Columbian 27, West Holmes 21 with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. The winner of that game will take on the winner of this game.
One thing I noticed down here with this Holy Name offense is that their fullback is starting to get a little bit more yardage. Earlier in the ball game, he was getting the ball 1 yard here, 2 yards here, no yards here. Now he just clicked off 8 yards, and they're starting to get the fullback involved in the offense a little bit more.
They're still tending to Sanchez on the far side of the field.
And as an offensive coordinator, when you're calling plays, it's a lot easier to call a play for 2nd and 3 than it is 2nd and 9.
Now Sanchez is up, and he's hobbling off the field. That is not a good sign because he has been a big part of – now it looks like they're looking at his right leg, right knee.
He's the one that's been keeping this defensive line of Ashland and the linebackers honest. They just plow him up the middle, and if you don't have him covered, he can hurt you. They've been doing a good job of stopping him. He breaks one for 8 yards and has a little leg injury.
Well, and what he was also doing was taking a lot of pressure off the sophomore quarterback, Javon Williams. Williams is the team's leading rusher. Williams swings it out, far side. It's caught by Sparks, and he pushes forward to the 45. He's got enough for the first down. So Landon McFrederick came up to make the stop. 2:22 to go in the third quarter. We are tied at 14. And a game that looked like it was going to be a rout in the first quarter has turned into an outstanding ball game here in the third quarter. Jet sweep near side. It's Christopher Bowden again with the carry. He's got 8 yards down to the 37.
And they're moving the stakes. They're moving the sticks. It's now 2nd and short. Anytime you can get a 2nd and short, does your offensive coordinator smile? Because that opens up your whole arsenal. They can go deep and still have a 3rd and short play. The next play if they miss it.
They spot the ball 38-yard line, making it 2nd and 3. Bowden in motion to the far side. Williams unloads. Wide open. It's caught. That's Eric Jones inside the 5, and it's going to be 1st and goal for the Green Wave. The arrows say the ball's on the ground, but let's see who has it. The arrows come out with the football, and it's Ashland's ball after a turnover on what could have been 1st and goal for the Green Wave. What a turn of events for the Ashland defense as they come up with the turnover.
Wow. Just when you have everything going for you, the ball pops out.
There you see the replay. Jones making the catch. And they just went after the ball, and somehow in all that mess, the ball came out, and Ashland recovered. Well, that's the good news. The bad news is it's 1st and 10 Ashland at the 3-yard line.
And defensive coaches, they practice. They call it the strip drill. If somebody wraps up a receiver, the ball carrier, and then everybody else goes after the ball. That's where practicing the strip drill on a ball carrier paid off for Ashland. But like you said, they're in a hole.
1st and goal from the 2. Hartley with some running room up across the 10 to the 15, and he's knocked down about the 18-yard line. Ethan Hartley gives them breathing room up close to the 20.
What a big play, Brian. Anytime you're in the end zone when you get the snap as a quarterback.
This was a huge run for Hartley. Hartley gets the call on the next play, and he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. The Green Wave want to say they have the ball, but it was blown dead.
A lot of times after a big turnover, your offense can't get in the end zone like that. Your defense is going to have a little letdown. They come on the field. Ashland took advantage of it, had a big play to get them out of the hole, get a 1st down. See if they can continue it.
Loss of 1 on the Hartley carry, so it's now 2nd and 11. Stay on the ground. That's Jaden Jones with the carry up across the 25. It's going to be about a yard short of the 1st down. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Nice run.
The arrow's now doing the damage on the ground.
Nice little run for him. Well, Holy Name came up. They took away the pass from them by playing a little tougher on the outside, so Ashland goes with a run. Good coaching move.
Now the arrows stay on the ground, and that's enough for a 1st down. That's Caden Spots, the freshman. Not a big run, but long enough to get the 1st down. 1st and 10 from the Ashland 30, and that's the final play of the 3rd quarter. We head to the 4th quarter, tied at 14. You're watching high school football live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
At Bo Lacey Construction, they understand that finding the right company for your home improvement needs can be very stressful. The professionals at Bo Lacey Construction can help alleviate that stress. Call Bo Lacey Construction at 266-9916.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Ashland do, they go over the top. Good call by them.
2nd down and 10. Stay on the ground. That Spots gets up to about the 34-yard line, a pickup of 3. Ashland now with an opportunity offensively. They can mix it up. They can really do whatever they want to do offensively. The run game has been working. They can loosen things up with the passing game.
But right now, with a 3rd and 7 situation, I don't see them running it, Brian. I think they're going to throw it to one of their receivers on the outside, a little bubble screen, see if he can run for the yardage. But they got to throw it here.
Landon McFrederick, their deep threat, goes wide to the right. Now that Spots in motion. They're going to hand the ball to him. He goes up the middle. He gets up across the 35 to the 37, well short of the 1st down. So it's now going to be a punting situation for the Arrows. And the Green Wave are going to get the ball back.
And that was a tough play. That was a tough play, giving it to a back in the middle. But nobody knows that offense better than the coaches from Ashland, and they thought the play was there. Holy Name shut it down.
Spots has the ball blocked, and it's going to be recovered by the Green Wave inside the 30-yard line.
Wow, what a turn of events.
Watch this kick here, and he's just...
He bobbled the snap. It hits the ground. He brings it up. Hats off to Holy Name for putting a little rush on it. They get the block. They have the field position. Specialty teams, so important. Special teams are so important in the game of football.
Connor Preissel with the block off the kick of Caden Spots. And now the Green Wave with a golden opportunity. 1st and 10 at the Ashland 28-yard line. Jet sweep to the near side. And don't look now, but another 1st down, Christopher Bowden. And Bowden almost untouched inside the 20. Now they move the sticks.
You were right on the 1st down call, but it was close.
Now they stay on the ground. That's Sanchez back in the ball game. Gets about a yard, maybe 2 on that left side. But you can see he doesn't look as strong as he did. So I don't know if that knee or leg is still bothering him. He got a couple yards on the play. 2nd down and 8.
But it's hard to keep an athlete of that caliber off the football field.
So which team is going to be haunted by the full moon? Williams rolls to his left, looks into the corner of the end zone, and it's going to be picked off. It's picked off by Jonathan Metzger. Another turnover, and the Arrows get the ball back.
And you talk about a big play.
Metzger with his 2nd interception of the season, and Javon Williams just basically threw the ball up for grabs.
You know, and it's a tough call. You got a sophomore quarterback. He's a right-handed. You got him rolling to the left a little bit. You got to get your body turned on it, or he threw it a little bit away. Ashland picked it off.
Javon Williams now with 2 interceptions on the night, his 3rd of the season. And the Arrows offense with another chance as they come back out onto the field, tied at 14, 9.5 minutes to go. Tell you what, this is going to come down to who has the ball last.
It is, and it's unbelievable. What a ball game. I never would have thought this would have been like this after that 1st quarter.
Declan Rohr fakes the handoff. They try to set up a screen. It's going to be incomplete, and they got all kinds of pressure on Rohr up the middle, and there we see that looks like a cramp.
And that's the big difference between the 1st half and the 2nd half, Brian. Holy Name's putting pressure on the quarterback. They're getting to him. He's a good enough athlete. He's able to get it out of the way,
There's the interception that Williams threw that gave Ashland the ball back there. He just threw it up in between two defenders. And Jonathan Metzger, the sophomore, comes up with the pick. There we have another look in down at Lucas. The Cubs now with a 27-14 lead. McDonald has put a touchdown on the board in the fourth quarter. And as they tend to him, can we go to the call there in Lucas as they tend to the injury?
Cub related, so there's a lot of school spirit. This is what makes small town America fantastic. This makes these kids are going to graduate. These kids are going to.
Say he's down, and Hartley is still down at the 32-yard line. Now he gets up, looks like he's holding his left hand.
Now that was a nice play. In fact, I think that's the same play they tried when they needed that first down. Holy Name shut it down then. This time they get a first down out of it. Ashland has got to keep the sticks moving. You got to keep getting first downs.
Spots in motion. He'll get the handoff, and he runs right into the arms of Seth Wallace. Seth Wallace, big 6 foot, 280-pounder.
He just consumed the ball carrier. All I know is I saw 27 running. Next thing I know, whoosh. He disappeared in the arms of that tackler.
No.
Oh.
Wow, that's huge. That's going to be a big break for the Ashland Arrows, as we saw this happen against Ashland. And now the Green Wave returned the favor, and Ashland with a 1st and 10 up across the 45 to the 47-yard line.
And all Ashland wants to do is take their time and move the sticks.
Spots in motion. He'll get the carry. Gets across midfield down to the 49-yard line. Up to make the play defensively, Mason Craycraft. Pickup of 5, and this is what they need to do. They need to grind the clock down as we approach 8 minutes to go.
And do you see any panic out there, Brian?
No. And this has been Ashland football for the last several years. You don't see them get rattled.
And they're just doing what they always do, moving the markers, moving the balls down the field, one first down at a time.
Roar with some protection there in the backfield, but they're going to stay on the ground. That's Spots. Pushes across the 45, powers down to the 43. He's going to have enough for the first down. So they have a lot of confidence in this freshman here in the fourth quarter.
I cannot imagine what it's like being a freshman out there, and you weren't even on the roster at the beginning of the season, and now you're carrying the load for the Ashland Arrows.
1st and 10 at the Green Wave 43-yard line. Stay on the ground. That's Jaden Jones, and he is swarmed under, nowhere to go. Lucas with a 27-14 win over McDonald. So Lucas advances to their regional final. So congratulations to the Cubs.
What a difference in philosophy of the Ashland. First quarter, throw the ball. They had like 180 yards throwing it early in the ball game. Now they're running it.
7 minutes to go. It's 2nd down and 12. Roar swings it out quickly. It's caught by Metzger, and he is thrown out of bounds by Aiden McNamara. So that's a gain of about 7. I will say 6, so it'll be 2nd and 4. That'll stop the clock with 6:49 to go. Rohr swings it out, far side, caught by Jones. He's got a first down as he puts his shoulder down to the 31-yard line. Splits a couple defenders, and the chains move again as the Arrows just methodically marching down the field. They, too, on this drive were the beneficiaries of a big personal foul called against the Green Wave.
And the clock is ticking. But they're still in their offense. Look for them to throw the ball, run the ball. They can do almost anything they want. They're in 4-down territory. They've got to move the sticks.
They've already missed a 32-yard field goal today, so they want to get into the end zone. Rohr loads up, left side. It's tipped, and it's incomplete. Or was it picked off? It was.
Interception.
Wow. Watch this replay. The ball is tipped in the end zone.
Tipped.
Oh, it's incomplete. That is incomplete.
They do not have replay in high school ball.
They are giving him credit for the interception when it clearly showed on the replay. Watch this again.
Tipped it.
And it hits the ground right there. What a break for Holy Name.
Number 13.
Christopher Bowden up across the 25, and I tell you what, it's a good thing the coaches next door didn't see that replay.
Unbelievable. But, hey, welcome to high school football. It is what it is. You go by the call. You have to put the play behind you and step up to the plate.
2nd down and 4 from the 26 as we approach 5 minutes to go in the ball game. Each team with 2 timeouts. Williams. And he's run out of bounds, and he's going to lose a yard on the play on the keeper. Braylon Harter came up to make the stop. It's now 3rd and 3.
The Ashland defense, big play right here. They got to give the ball back to the offense with time on the clock. Big play, Ashland. The fans are fired up.
Williams swings it out left side. They go for the big tight end. It's caught for a first down. Actually, it was caught by Bowden. But the chains move. It's another first down. It was not a good throw by Williams, but he got just enough on it. It's now 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line, and the Arrows need to come up with a stop here.
Yeah, their defense has got to pick it up right here. The clock is moving.
Williams rolls to his right. He's going to be dropped at the 30-yard line. Leading the charge defensively was Triton Schuster.
And that's what the defense has got to do. They had to step it up and made a big play. It is now 2nd and 13. Showtime, Arrows.
What a big play for the Arrow defense. The winner of this game will take on either West Holmes or Tiffin Columbia next week. We already know that the Lucas Cubs have won tonight, so they will advance to a regional final. 2nd and 13, and there's a
timeout.
Timeout's going to be taken by the Green Wave with 4:10 to go. They now have 2 timeouts remaining.
And, Brian, I'm not going to foreshadow anything, but we have an overtime game yet?
Oh, we have not. And on the night of a full moon, you want to mention the O word. Well, this.
Because these defenses have both picked it up. Everybody's playing at a different level than the game started. Everything's colliding, is coming together. There's a full moon out.
This is what high school football is all about. That you had the makings early of a rout, but Holy Name hung in there. They made plays defensively and offensively, and they clawed their way back into this. They were the beneficiaries of a huge play that was an incomplete pass that was called an interception. What an outstanding ball game.
And it's like two different halves for Holy Name. The first half, they didn't look like a number 6 seed out there. They just didn't play well. And then what happens? They come out at halftime. Their defensive coaches made some adjustments. They've really put the hammer on the Ashland defense.
4 minutes, 10 seconds to go. 2nd down and 13 from the Holy Name 31-yard line. The sophomore quarterback awaits the snap. There's a false start, and that's going to be a huge penalty against Holy Name.
That's their 7th penalty of the night for 45 yards. The coaches in the box next to us made a point to let those officials know, even though we're 50 yards away, that young man jumped.
There's Sean Cedar, who's really done a nice job with this program in his 2nd season.
And I think the last time Holy Name had a 2nd and 20, no, that was Ashland, wasn't it? They had a 2nd down and 20. They actually made it because of a penalty. Taunting play.
Second down and 18 from the Green Wave 26-yard line. There's movement on the line.
And they gave it back to him. That's Ashland's 6th penalty for 45 yards.
So back-to-back penalties, one by each team. It's still a long situation for Holy Name. It's now just 2nd down and 13. Williams is going to step up. And he is going to be running for his life. Find some daylight on the near side. An illegal block, though, is going to have this one come back. Christopher Bowden trying to create some running room. Blocked Landon McFrederick. And this one's coming back.
And I tell you, Brian, I think that's why that young man's at quarterback. Look what he does. He reverses his field, tries to avoid all the tacklers. He actually made some good positive yardage, but there's a block in the back. Boom. Going to bring it back.
So penalties have really come into play here in the 4th quarter. And this one's going to be a big one marched off against Holy Name.
And if there's ever a time for this Ashland defense to play ball, this is it. The clock is winding down. You're under 4 minutes to play. Now's the time. They've got to put it together and force Holy Name the punt.
Ashland with 3 timeouts. Holy Name with 2. And Holy Name with a 2nd and 26 now from their own 18-yard line. They go to the ground, and Sanchez up across the 30. So it'll be 3rd down and 13 now, up across the 30 to the 31.
That was a nice call by Holy Name. Ashland's looking for the pass on the long yardage, opens up a seam up the middle. Good yardage.
Williams back to throw. And that's incomplete. He threw that one behind Christopher Bowden.
Tried to hit a simple little slant route, and believe it or not, Brian, that slant route where the receiver's running at the quarterback at a different angle, it's a tough pass to complete.
So Holy Name's going to leave it up to their defense with 3:20 to go, and they're going to kick the ball to Ashland. Jonathan Stanislaw back to kick inside the 25-yard line, and kicks tonight have been an adventure. Stanislaw, and it's going to take a Holy Name roll.
And there's that turf bounce again. You get on this AstroTurf, artificial turf, that ball will roll forever.
So do the Arrows have a game-winning drive in them with 3:12 to go, 3 timeouts, and we're tied at 14.
You're in 4-down territory. You're looking for the win. A field goal will do it for you. You don't want to turn the ball over. You got to keep control of it. Best ball player, best plays, nothing fancy.
Isaac Roop has already missed a 32-yard field goal tonight. It was short, so they would like to get closer than that. If they don't get into the end zone, they'd at least like to get a closer field goal attempt.
And they've been running the ball very effectively. I don't think the clock will let them.
Well, they're going to run up the middle, up to the 35-yard line. Tiffin Columbian with a 27-24 score over West Holmes. Is that a final? They're in the fourth quarter, so Tiffin Columbian hanging on for dear life with a 3-point lead. And the winner of that game will take on the winner of this game next week in the regional final. Spots avoids one tackler, but he can't get past the line of scrimmage. A flag comes flying in from the backfield. And like you, Bruce, I am impressed that Sean Cedar has that much confidence in a freshman in this stage of this ball game. See what the penalty is, and this may be against Ashland.
It's a holding penalty, Brian. That's going to hurt. It's going to move them back 10 yards. And now Ashland's in a situation where you have long yardage. Last thing you want to do is punt the ball with any time on the clock. But knowing this Ashland team, they're going to put the ball up in the air and try to get field goal range.
Going to swing it out. Spots just gets back to the 25-yard line. As you see, the clock's still moving as we approach the 2-minute mark. Now 3rd down and 15 from the 24. Actually, 3rd and 16 from the 24.
And this could be a big play. They need the first down so they don't turn the ball back over.
Rohr steps up. It's tipped and incomplete, and he could not find Landon McFrederick over the middle, and there's a flag down.
Late flag comes in.
So are the Arrows going to get some help here?
It's an interference call against Holy Name. I don't think it'll be a first down.
Holy Name does not look to be happy.
That's their 9th penalty of the night.
Waiting on the call. It's a 15-yarder assessed on Michael Kinney. And what a huge call. It is now 3rd and 1 as they spot the ball at the 39-yard line. So this could be the play of the game here for the Ashland Arrows. Stay on the ground. It spots, and he's going to be short. He tried to spin from the initial contact. We have an injured player for Holy Name at the 35-yard line. Can't see who it is here from our vantage point from the 35-yard line. Tonight's high school playoff football broadcast is brought to you live and free on the OH Report thanks to our generous sponsors from Spherion of Mid Ohio. Your connection to local jobs from light industrial to skilled professional. They have opportunities for everyone. Visit midohiojobs.net and let's get to work. Also by Kissel's Lawncare, Painting, and Snow Removal. Call Dave at 419-571-1152 to get a free quote for your next painting project or find Kissel's on Facebook. Also by Lacey Construction. Experience you can trust, done right on time. Check out BoLaceyConstruction.com for your next kitchen, bath, roofing, siding, or remodeling project. And also by Park National Bank. Richland Bank may be changing their name, but not their philosophy. They're still your hometown bank, supporting your hometown teams. Same bank, bigger promise. Brian Harter, Bruce Weirich from Community Stadium in Ashland, where we've got a good one. 14 all, 133 to go in regulation. Yes, I said regulation, because we are staring at a big opportunity here for overtime. Ashland with a 4th and 1. And let's see if they just try to draw Holy Name offside. Rohr comes up under center, which is something he does not do very often.
I don't think I've ever seen it. I think they're going to see if they can get them offside, and they've got to punt. The last thing you want to do is give Holy Name the ball right here.
5 seconds to go on the play clock. I think they're going to let it wind down and call a timeout. Yep, that's exactly what they do. And I'm like you. I think you play field position here. You give it to your defense, and you play for overtime.
And the defense has been playing well. The Ashland defense has picked it up. They had a little letdown in, third quarter, fourth quarter? Third quarter, they had a little letdown, gave up a couple scores. But right now, they're playing good ball again. And this is a situation where you punt the ball, put the game on your defensive's back,
Each
and then
team
win
with
it in
2
overtime.
timeouts. The big play here in the fourth quarter was an interception that was called an interception, but the ball on replay was clearly shown to hit the ground. But Holy Name retained possession, or they got possession of the ball, but they were unable to capitalize. 4th and 1, and the Arrows are going to go for it. And could they push the pile?
4th and 1 call, quarterback sneak, 1 minute on the clock, short field if you don't get it for a Holy Name. I think it looks short. Looks like the official's foot's on the downside of the 40-yard line and the marker's on the other side.
Holy Name thinks they have the ball. And they do. That is a huge spot, and Holy Name with the ball, 1st and 10 at the Ashland 39-yard line. Do you like the call?
Well, if they would have made it, it would have been a great call. If you don't make it, there's going to be a lot of second-hand quarterbacks.
Now, the kicker for Holy Name, Jonathan Stanislaw, has a 26-yarder this season, so that is not long by anyone's standards. They're going to come out and measure here, but it looks from here like he had enough or did not have enough for the first down. And I think that's going to be verified here as they do turn it over on downs. So Ashland does not get a good spot. And now an opportunity with a minute to go. And Holy Name is going to get the ball just inside the 40-yard line.
Play of the game, Brian? Was that it?
Well, if they can capitalize.
And this is where Ashland, the coach, if their defense was just letting them score at will, that's one thing. But Ashland's defense been playing great ball this fourth quarter. That's probably what he said. Hey, if we don't make it, our defense will hold them out.
Javon Williams out of the shotgun on 1st and 10. They swing it out. This one's caught by Christopher Bowden, and he's got another first down inside the 30. They'll stop the clock as they move the chains. Actually, it's a 9-yard gain, so it brings up a 2nd down and 1. And really, the Green Wave don't have to be in a hurry here.
No.
Now they stay on the ground. That's Sanchez. He's got a first down to the 20-yard line. And Christian Sanchez, who left earlier with an injury, looks healthy as he bulldozes his way to the 20-yard line.
And he is a load.
29 seconds and counting.
Look like they're setting themselves up for a field goal.
Williams going to run to the left side, and he gets out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. With 19 seconds to go, they'll stop the clock. Again, Jonathan Stanislow, the kicker for Holy Name, has a 26-yarder on the season. That's his longest. Ball spotted right now just inside the 15-yard line. So they are in field goal range right now with 19 seconds to go and 2 timeouts. They stay on the ground. That's Sanchez, and he's going to be inside the 10 down to about the 8-yard line. Schmidt made the stop.
He's got 82 yards.
First and goal for the Green Wave with 12 seconds to go. What a finish. And Sean Cedar is going to be second guessed if they lose this game because of that 4th down call in your own territory.
Yeah, people are going to question that call depending upon what the outcome of the game is. You know, we're sitting here right now thinking, well, you're going to kick a field goal, you're going to lose 17-14, but there's a lot can happen on a field goal try. And I'm still looking at overtime.
First and goal from the 8, 12 seconds to go. The Green Wave still with one more timeout. The ball is right in the middle of the field, so if they go for the field goal, it's going to be a perfect spot for the kicker.
And as a coach, a lot of times you're going to run a play right here just to set the ball up. You don't want to score. You're just going to run the ball, set the ball in the best position for the kicker.
Low snap. Sanchez picks it up, falls forward on the left side. Timeout is going to be called. They whistled forward progress dead at about the 6-yard line. And the Green Wave called their final timeout, and they're going to put it in the hands of their kicker. What a finish to this ball game.
What an ending. We have 7 seconds on the clock. They're going to try the field goal. It's a specialty play. Specialty teams haven't been exactly a bright spot for both teams tonight. We had a drop snap here by Ashland. We had a couple bad punts by Holy Name. So we'll see what happens. Welcome to high school football on goodness. Friday night.
So the ball is spotted at the 8-yard line. They're going to set up the field goal attempt. It's going to be a 25-yard attempt from the left hash mark.
Ashland has 2 timeouts. You can't take them with them. Look for a timeout here.
Jonathan Stanislow, the senior kicker, and you called it. Ashland's going to call a timeout with 7 seconds to go. Stanislow, 5 of 5 on the season kicking field goals. Again, his longest, 26 yards, and this is a 25-yard attempt. He's a senior, so he's got that game experience in him.
But think about the pressure on this young man. Think about it. You make it, you're the hero. You miss it. 20 years from now, they'll still talk about it.
But if you miss it, you go to overtime.
Yeah,
so it's not like they're going to lose the ball game.
You are right. You are right.
Holy Name kicking for an opportunity to go to the regional final for the first time since 1975, and that year they won a state championship. So now we'll see if Sean Cedar calls their final timeout. And he does. So as you said, you cannot take them with you. So Sean Cedar's going to call his final timeout with 7 seconds to go. And the Arrows, at one point in this game, were up 14-0 in the first quarter.
In that second timeout, I was watching the kicker for Holy Name, and the frustration on his face. You know, you could just tell he's frustrated. He wants to get that kick off. Is it going to pay off for Coach Cedars?
Holy Name looking for their 7th win of the season. And it all comes down to this. Austin Wondolowski will hold.
You fill the gaps and go after it.
And this could be the ball game for the Green Wave. Kick is up, and it is good as it just barely goes over the crossbar. And with 3 seconds to go, Holy Name with a 3-point lead.
Wow. At the end of the first quarter, when the score was 14-0, I said, whoa, this is over. And now Holy Names put 17 points on the board in a row to take the lead with 3 seconds to go.
It was not the prettiest field goal. It was not probably the prettiest kick of his career, but it just might be enough. And now it's going to come down to a kickoff with 3 seconds to go, and Ashland's going to have an opportunity as we have an injured player down for the Green Wave at about the 10-yard line. Can't quite see who it is from here, but it has still been an outstanding season for the Ashland Arrows, but to see it fall like this, and again, people are going to question the 4th down call in your own territory, giving them the ball on a short field.
Yeah, that's going to be the call everybody's going to go home and talk about tonight. But Ashland's got a good football team. They've had a great season. They made a good run at it. The game's not over. We still got 3 seconds. Holy Name has got to kick the ball. I look at a squib kick. They're not going to kick it deep. They're going to have a little squib kick.
This is one of the hardest ways, if they end up losing this ball game, to go down. It's such a close finish.
And the controversy. I mean, the interception. You know, people are going to look back at that and say, man, he in our replay, you could actually see the ball hit the turf and bounce up. He never did catch it. He never had control of it. But this is not the NFL. This is not the college books. They do not have instant replay. You don't review it. So it goes as an interception. That's part of the ball game. And that, as you said earlier, Brian, that was a turning point of the ball game right because Ashland was on a roll. They had it going.
Well, that play, and I still go back to that penalty that went in the second quarter, and that just really seemed to kind of take the momentum away and shift it over to Holy Name.
Yeah.
It was a big 15-yard personal foul against Ashland, and they were really clicking on all cylinders until that penalty occurred.
And that was Holy Name was what, 1st and 20 on that? Because they had 2 penalties in a row, 2 5-yard penalties, and moved them back. And it was a taunting play, and there's no room for that. The officials will not tolerate that, and they threw the flag.
Can't really see who the player is, but if they end up winning this ball game, it's a shame to see that there could be somebody injured on a play like that. It's like they're taking off his left shoe, and
the young man is in pain.
it's just something you hate to see in any situation, but in a game like this where it's just comes down to the finish and the game is almost over.
And the one thing I really respect, you look at both teams have taken a knee. They're hoping for the best for the athlete. hats off to the fans, to the Ashland sidelines, Holy Name sidelines.
And it's silent here. You could hear a pin drop on both sides of this stadium. And just seconds ago, everyone was on their feet yelling and screaming, and now it's just eerily quiet.
And I don't want to say too much right now, but it looked like they were waving for the ambulance.
Not a good sign at all as they tend to him. We'll take a break, and we'll come back as soon as action is live. Ashland trailing 17-14 with 3 seconds to go. You're listening to high school football live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
At Bo Lacey Construction, they understand that finding the right company for your home improvement needs can be very stressful. The professionals at Bo Lacey Construction can help alleviate that stress. Call Bo Lacey Construction at 266-9916.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
We are back at Community Stadium in Ashland. That's Vincent Holbrook, a 5'10", 235-pound junior for Holy Name, being taken off the field. We do not want to speculate what the injury is. Obviously, he's in a lot of pain as he's being put into the back of the squad. So our thoughts and prayers go out to Vincent Holbrook and his family as they take him off the field here. 3 seconds to go. Holy Name on top by 3 after a 25-yard field goal by Jonathan Stanislaw. And Holy Name will have to kick off, so Ashland will have one final opportunity to get back and get on top of this ball game. But it's going to take, Bruce, a miracle here on this kickoff if Ashland's going to sneak out of here with a win.
Yeah, it's a tough call, and I'll tell you right now, there's no way Holy Name's going to kick the ball deep. They're going to shank the ball a little bit, let it bounce around, maybe even kick it to one of the upper linemen.
Ideally, they could get contact with somebody and get the clock started.
But it's been a hard-fought ball game.
Tiffin Columbian has a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, so unless something happens there, Tiffin Columbian will likely be in the regional final next week. We don't know that that's a final yet, but they are up 10 in the fourth quarter. So here's the kickoff now for Holy Name. And you're going to see every lateral in the playbook. Ball is on the ground, and that is going to do it. Holy Name escapes Ashland on Halloween weekend with a 17-14 win, and they will advance to the regional final. We'll be back to wrap it up after this. You're listening to high school football live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
At Lacey Construction, they understand that finding the right company for your home improvement needs can be very stressful. The professionals at Lacey Construction can help alleviate that stress. Quality materials, professional employees, and they offer great financing options along with 1 year of interest-free financing. So now is the very best time to get those energy-saving new windows, insulation, and vinyl siding installed. Call Lacey Construction at 266-9916.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community.
I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Kissel's Lawncare. There's no job too big or too small for us to handle. With top-of-the-line equipment, we are guaranteed to complete your next landscaping job efficiently and professionally. A hard-working, dedicated team is what we take pride in, bringing to every job to make sure the results are the best they can be. So the next time you have a landscaping project that needs done, think smart and think Kissel.
We are back here at Community Stadium in Ashland, where Ashland has fallen to Holy Name by a 17-14 score. And our player of the game, which is brought to you by Lacey Construction, is senior kicker for the Holy Name Green Wave, Jonathan Stanislaw. And first of all, congratulations on a big win.
Thank you.
Now, we go back to the first half, and you guys were down 14-0. What was the mood on the sideline with you and your players and your coaches?
Definitely not what we wanted it to be. We wanted it to pick up. The first quarter started off rough with Ashland scoring 2 times. And then once the second quarter started to get off, we started to pick up more momentum. And we started to we had to pick our heads up more. And once that momentum started going, we all started rolling, and we just got together as our team, and I don't even know.
I know it's all exciting right
Yeah.
now, and everything's just really kind of sinking in. But as you're getting in late in the ball game and it's tied, when did you start thinking about, okay, this is an opportunity if they can just get me close enough? When did you start really thinking about that?
I knew about, I think, 3 or 4 drives before this last one. It was tied the whole entire second half, and I knew that if we could just get to maybe the 30, 35-yard line anytime in the second half, as long as I was in range, I was going to take a field goal and put us up. And then if our defense could hold them like we were doing after the whole entire first quarter, we would win this.
Now, I know your longest this year was 26, but was this the longest of your career? What's your career long?
My career long, we don't usually take a ton of field goals in games, but in practice, my longest is actually like 57, 59.
So you felt comfortable if
Yeah.
they could get you within 30, 35 yards?
Yeah.
Now, the kick wasn't the prettiest kick in the world. What happened?
So I was really jittery. Like, there was a ton of pressure. And I was still a little bit stiff because I'd been standing on the sideline the whole entire second half. And I knew that they'd be rushing really hard. So I guess it was just the nerves creeping in. So with the cold and all the nerves, my leg, it doesn't have all the power that it usually does, I guess.
But, hey, you got the job done, and that's the important thing. It didn't look pretty, but it's 3 points. And in a game like this, that's all you needed. Mm-hmm. So congratulations. And as our player of the game, we get a T-shirt for you and some Halloween goodies there. So
thank you.
Take that, and congratulations. And as of right now, Tiffin Columbian had a 10-point lead. We don't know if that's a final, but that is a final. So that's who you guys are going to be playing next week. So good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, congratulations again to Jonathan Stanislaw, our player of the game, and now with an opportunity for them to advance and take on Tiffin Columbian next week. We're going to take a look at our stats, our final stats, as we let Jonathan sneak out of here. And Bruce, that was just it's one of those situations where, as he said, they had to get themselves into a position to get things done, and they never really seemed like they panicked.
Well, let's think about this. Ashland goes up 14-0, but then they're shut out the rest of the ball game. And as the young man stated, their defense just kept getting better and better. More confidence. Coaches made some halftime adjustments, and the next thing you know, they shut Ashland out for 3 quarters.
So as we take a look at the final numbers there, you see the offense, the numbers were there for Ashland. They just could not get points on the scoreboard after the first quarter.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's, a letdown on the offense, or if it was Holy Name's defense, or a combination of both, or just bad luck. There were some penalties out there, the taunting play that hurt them a little bit. And there's 2 big plays I look at this thing. One was a turnover in the end zone that they called an interception by Holy Name, which when you looked at our cameras, he hit the turf, he didn't catch it. And then the 4th and 1 call. And those are going to be the 2 calls people are going to be talking about for a while about this ball game.
Well, you take a look at the offensive numbers for Holy Name after that first quarter when they really sputtered and couldn't get anything going. They really got things going. Then they got a lot of balance. I mean, Christian Sanchez did a nice job running the football, and he took a lot of pressure off of the sophomore quarterback and allowed them to do just enough. I mean, they got 2 touchdowns on the board, but they did just enough to keep them in the ball game, and they made some opportunistic plays defensively.
Yeah, the big tailback, he did do some nice things. He kept the defense honest, as you just said, but the big key, I think, was for Holy Name's offense was they found their tight end. They found the tight end, and, we saw it down here. The young man catches the ball. He's got 3 tacklers on him. He drags him another 8 yards. On the 1 touchdown drive, he caught 3 of the catches, made it moving. So when Holy Name started passing the ball to their tight end, things started moving for them.
With the win, Holy Name is now 7-1, and Ashland drops to 7-2. The final score tonight, Holy Name 17 and Ashland 14. Holy Name now advances to play Tiffin Columbian in the Division III Region 10 Finals. Our thanks to tonight's broadcast team. Our producer was Adam Thompson, the production assistant Jory Hollenbeck, and the fine camera work was courtesy of Nick Jacobs, Mason Neese, and Storm Blunchley. Most of all, our thanks to you for joining us. Once again, the final score from Community Stadium, Holy Name 17 and Ashland 14. You've been watching high school playoff football live and free on the OH Report, powered by BS Media Productions. Thanks again to our generous sponsors for making all this possible. Keep it locked into the OH Report, your new home for live sports coverage in North Central Ohio and beyond. For Bruce Weirich, I'm Brian Harter. So long from Ashland.